Welcome to the fascinating world of econometrics. Today, we delve into a distinction that can make or break a billion-dollar policy or a medical breakthrough: statistical significance versus practical significance. In the age of big data, we have the power to prove almost anything mathematically. But we must ask ourselves, does it actually matter in the real world? Let's start with a provocative example. Imagine a pharmaceutical company develops a new drug called Longevita. They conduct a clinical trial with 10 million participants. After years of study, the data shows a p-value of 0.00001. Mathematically, the drug works beyond any reasonable doubt. But there is a catch. The data reveals that Longevita extends human life by an average of only 3 seconds. In this scenario, the drug is statistically significant because the massive sample size allowed us to detect even the tiniest effect. However, it lacks practical significance. Spending billions of dollars to distribute a pill that gives you 3 extra seconds of life is, by any standard, a failure of practical application. This is the large sample size trap. Section 1. The foundation of hypothesis testing. To understand this, we must revisit the null hypothesis, H0, and the alternative hypothesis, H1. Usually, H0 claims there is no effect, while H1 claims there is. Statistical significance is our measure of how confident we are that the effect we see isn't just a lucky coincidence or random noise. Section 2. The role of the sample size, n. The standard error of our estimate is inversely proportional to the square root of the sample size. As n increases, the standard error shrinks. A tiny standard error makes our test statistic, like the t-stat, explode. This means that with a large enough dataset, even the most microscopic, irrelevant difference becomes statistically significant. Section 3. Defining statistical significance. We traditionally use a threshold, alpha, often set at 0.05. If our p-value is below this, we reject the null. But alpha is a measure of probability, not a measure of impact. It tells us the certainty of an effect's existence, but it says absolutely nothing about the magnitude or the utility of that effect. Section 4. The paradox of big data. In the era of the Internet of Things and massive databases, we are seeing a p-hacking crisis. When you analyze billions of rows, every correlation becomes significant. If you correlate the consumption of cheese with the number of people who died becoming tangled in their bedsheets, a massive dataset might find a significant link, even if it's purely spurious or practically useless. Section 5. Practical significance and effect size. This is where the real econometrics happens. We look at effect size, metrics like Cohen's d, or simply the coefficient magnitude in a regression. If we are studying the impact of education on wages, a significant increase of 1 cent per year of schooling is practically irrelevant, even if the p-value is 0. Section 6. Cost-benefit analysis and policy. In public policy, practical significance is tied to the budget. If a new teaching method improves test scores by 0.1% but costs $50 million to implement, the statistical significance doesn't justify the investment. Econometricians must use economic significance to guide decision-makers. Section 7. How to avoid the trap. Experts suggest looking at confidence intervals instead of just p-values. A narrow confidence interval that is very close to 0 tells us that even though an effect is real, it is likely small. We must also report R-squared values to see how much of the total variation our model actually explains. In conclusion, never let a small p-value distract you from the big picture. Mathematical proof is a tool, not an end goal. As sample sizes grow toward infinity, the burden of proof shifts from does it exist to does it matter. Always weigh your results against the scales of common sense and economic reality. References. 1. Gujarati, D.N. and Porter, D.C., Basic Econometrics. 2. Ziliak, S.T. and McCloskey, D.N., The Cult of Statistical Significance. 3. Wooldridge, J.M., Introductory Econometrics, A Modern Approach. 4. Cohen, J., Statistical Power Analysis for the Behavioral Sciences.